public holiday in South
Ah,
Africa. Yeah, so, and everybody's in chill mode,
chill mode.
chill mode. Today's Human Rights Day, important holiday for all of us. So, are you both ready to have a great discussion with me today about human rights?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I know.
Yeah. We're all going to share what we've learned on the journey, but we're three human beings on the call today, and we'll just share our humanity. I think that's what matters most. So just one more page, and we can. So, Craig, do you have some music for us tonight?
Yeah.
Great. And how's the recording going along?
Good. Yeah, we're just about finished with three more songs that are going to be for the new album. Actually, today, hopefully, we'll be signing off on the completion.
That's exciting. So, do you have like an album cover and all of that?
No, I didn't get to that. I don't have a title yet. I don't have a cover. The artwork is still, you know, finish, get the recordings kind of together, and then I'll start thinking about title and artwork and all that.
Oh, that's very exciting.
Yeah.
That's very exciting, Craig. And so, one step closer to the Grammys.
Yep.
Okay, so let's get started. Good evening from my world. It's after 7 here in South Africa. It's 7:09 p.m. So that would be 1:09 p.m. in New York and 12:09 p.m. in Houston, right? So we're in three different time zones. You're both in the same country in the US, and I'm here in South Africa. So I welcome you to a very special holiday in South Africa, Human Rights Day. And we celebrate it with a lot of meaning and purpose here in the country because, as I said in my recording yesterday, in my country, our human rights matter. And it took many, many lives for us to get to this point where all our voices are heard. So Ling Lo, a very prominent person in the Asian Democratic Movement in Houston. You're a first timer on the show. Welcome. A warm welcome to you, Ling, and
Thank you.
a warm welcome to Houston. And
Yes, Houston is cold today.
is it cold? Oh, it's so hot in
We're
my
changing
part
every
of the
day.
world. Can you
We're
see
like up and down the weather. Yeah.
So, and Craig, how's the weather on your end?
It's colder than it could be. It was mild the last couple of days, and today it rained a lot yesterday. It rained like all night, and then so
Oh,
today's
really? Okay.
yeah.
We had a bit of rain here, but it just caused a bit of humidity, when it's so hot. And then I caught a cold, and Gavin caught a cold. In the hot weather, we're catching colds. Can you believe that? So it's a bit uncomfortable, but anyway, we're going to get through this. And to kick off the show, as always, Craig, perhaps you could play something for us just to ease the mood a bit.
Sure.
What have you got for us tonight?
All right. This is I think I did this last time. This is a new one called "If You Stop Believing." I think I did play it last.
You did, yeah.
Well, I've since that was I think one of the first times I played it. Now I've broken it in.
And we loved it. Gavin and I loved it. It was it received quite a lot of it. Oh, yeah.
All right, let's give it a shot. Shed light when you're not sure where to go. Shed light when there's darkness in the road. Walk up to the mountain if there's answers that you seek. Wade into the waters to wash your spirit clean. Find another reason to keep faith within your heart. 'Cause if you stop believing, then the whole thing comes apart. Sing out when the world has got you down. Sing out when there's no peace to be found. Find the inspiration in all of nature's wild. Filter aggravations and steal away your smile. Cherish every moment with the ones you call your friends. 'Cause if you lose connection, then the story comes to an end. Many miles we've come, and many more to run. We go in circles, and we get lost again. It's not the things we have, it's the ones we love that let us know it's worth it. When we're falling down. Now pain we all will come to know. Yeah, pain can eat away your soul. But love, like the wind, will give you flight. Yeah, love will lead you to the light. So step out from the shadows, the place where you're alone. Wage another battle, throw another stone, and find another reason to keep your hope alive. 'Cause if you stop believing, then the dream will surely die. I said if you stop believing, the dream will surely die.
Bravo, Craig. That was beautiful.
Very
Absolutely wonderful.
Thank
So
you.
I just want to put this on my apologies. That was wonderful. Ling, did you enjoy Craig's playing?
Yes, very beautiful.
Do you
Very
like
good.
his music? Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So let's just get that up.
Very passionate music.
Oh, he's a very passionate musician. Very passionate musician. Craig lives for his music. And we I just wanted to double check, Craig, that we were recording. Remember, I'm
Oh.
doing everything myself today, so we are recording. So
Okay.
we're all good. Yeah. So That song, can you just share with Ling and I what inspired you? I know you did it the last show. It would just help to get the mood going there.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I had the music. This one actually took a long time to kind of wrangle in because I had the music for a while, and I kept kind of fiddling with it, and I kind of only landed um, on the title and basically having the song be about. It's about faith, and it's
Uh-huh.
about, but it's kind of I think like a proactive faith, I guess is how I would describe
Beautiful.
it.
That's what we need right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just sitting and waiting for things, but it's kind of going out and doing things and engaging,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, but it's you know, there. I didn't realize it till after because I mean, but it's yeah, each the verses, the first verse is saying shed light, like if there's darkness, shed light,
Mhm.
and then the second verse is sing out, sing out to if the world has got you down. Just so it's it's kind of having faith, but it's also giving to the world through engagement and
Beautiful.
yeah.
Beautiful. So, Craig, many artists use their platform to speak on social issues. Have you ever used your music as a form of advocacy? And what causes are close to your heart?
Well, I mean, I've written as you probably know, I've written some political songs.
Mhm.
So I've definitely advocated in terms of politics. In terms of other causes, I have a a song from a couple records ago. Um, it's on behalf of. I mean, it's basically for empowerment of women, and the song is called "Oh Caroline," and it was based on a friend of mine, a singer who'd kind of stepped away from music for a while and was just kind of, I think she had just been kind of tossed around the industry and had some bad experiences, and so,
Oh
and
my.
it really made me sad when she, was not doing it because she's so brilliant, like one of the most amazing singers I've ever worked with.
Wow.
We'd done some writing together years ago and
Uh-huh.
performing.
Uh-huh.
So the song was kind of like telling her to step out and kind of, own it and, and own your power. And so, but it kind of got, I think other people have kind of taken it in different ways. It's kind of like a general line of woman's empowerment song. So,
That's beautiful, Craig. You're an encourager as well. And that's an important part of expressing our human rights as well. You know, when our fellow beings are feeling down, and we do what we can to reach out and to just make everybody's life easier. That's the whole purpose of this. And we stand together from different parts of the world. So thank you, Craig. That was a beautiful introduction to the show. And so now I'm going to hone in on Ling. Ling, you have a very interesting life in Houston. You're prominent in the Asian community as the leader of the Asian Democrats in Houston, and you've been a strong advocate for increasing Asian representation in politics. What do you see as the biggest challenge the Asian community faces in political engagement?
Thank you, Michelle, for inviting me to this panel. As the founder of Asian Americans Democratic Party, Democratic Club, actually, I founded it in 2016 during the campaign for Hillary. And I've been organizing over 20 states of the Chinese American voters for the campaign as the co-chair of the finance committee at the same time. So since then until now, almost 10 years passed. And I have seen the emerging force from our AAPI community, but still I see more challenges. And the Asian community faces several significant challenges in the political engagement. First, there is the issue of visibility and representation. Despite being one of the fastest growing demographic groups in the USA, Asians are often underrepresented. in political offices and decision-making spaces. This lack of representation can lead to policies that don't fully address the unique needs of our community. Second, there is the challenge of cultural and linguistic barriers. Asian communities are very diversified, speaking different languages, of course. So we come from diverse backgrounds with the varying levels of English proficiency, which can make it difficult to access information and process information about voting, civic process, and even understanding how policies impact them. Anything happening to the community, our people tend to be ducked down and try to just swallow down any problems and never dare to speak out, not to mention stand out. Lastly, there is the issue of the stereotypes and the model minority myth. This narrative often dismisses the struggles of Asian Americans, assuming we don't face systemic issues or need advocacy. It can discourage our community from speaking out or seeking support, further marginalizing us in political discourse. Even our people get shot, and we don't know where to get help. So that's why the representation, as I used to be Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee's liaison to the community, people looking to my support so I can connect them to the community, to the Congresswoman, and the Congresswoman can come and visit and donate money and reconnect them back to all the resources that she can connect with. That's the way how we can help our community. So to overcome these challenges, we really need targeted outreach. I am one of the important outreach for the community and for the congressional office. So culturally sensitive education and the mentorship program is very important to empower more Asian Americans to run for office or engage in civic processes. We call them civic engagement.
Thank you, Ling. That was beautiful and very informative. And I do admire your work. I've been following it for many years. And I do understand the challenges that you face daily, you and your community. But kudos to all of you for the strength, the tenacity, and the refusal to give up. We just must not give up. We keep going regardless. And yeah. I suppose, even as Craig sang at the beginning of the show, music, art, telling our stories on platforms like this one, regardless of how dark and impossible situations may seem, but the darkest nights have become the best nights, the most lit nights, when people came together and each candle was lit in unison and we sang together and we told our stories together. So therefore, Ling, kudos to you and respect, and definitely with all my heart, solidarity from this end, never failing solidarity. So we'll take it across to Craig. Craig, what did you have to think about what Ling said from New York to hear of this? You've both just met briefly. You've heard of her marvelous work, and you're something of an activist yourself. We're using your music and the kind of music you wrote, even during the COVID-19 pandemic, you encouraged people through your music. Now, I would love to just create some sort of conversation, some sort of intersection with the three of us here. So just engage about what Ling had to say, because I know that's your heart and passion too. Go ahead, Craig.
Yeah. Well, I was curious. You said, Linda, that there's underrepresentation in politics in the Asian American community. I'm just curious, why do you think that is? Like, what the reason for that is?
The reason for this underrepresentation is, first, the ignorant. Many people don't know how to run for office, and they never got involved in the political process, how to join the campaigns and to help the candidates. They dare not to get involved in politics because take Chinese, for example, we came from a country never have an election, and we don't know what election means to us. And we don't have like a two-party system. We only have one party, that's them, that's CCP. And yes, they mentioned there are so many other little parties, but we never heard about. So there is no election. That means the party is not there, and so there is no no knowledge about anything happening here. So once they got over here, politics means class struggle. It's like a monopoly, and people get scared of get involved in the politics. So they will not try to venture out if it's not hurting themselves. And also, they don't like to get into trouble because they don't want to be standing in front of the community and being like a target. We are a very humble community. We just work hard. That's why we become like a model minority, because we never fight back. If anything happened to us, we swallow it. We just take it down and swallow down and move on. And that's our maybe very some good trait, but to the other end is a very bad trait.
Right.
And so it depends on situation.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. That's.
So
Yeah.
Greg, fight back, based. Thank you for that, Ling. That was touching, actually, especially the part about you being the community being a humble community. And I know the Chinese American,
Yeah.
I know the Asian American community very well. I have many friends in the United States from the Asian American community.
Right.
And yeah, I've connected beautifully across the US in your community. And the humble life, the humble work ethic, you know, it's something to be admired in the world. Personally, it's the highest ethic for me, humility, to see people coming in all aspects of life, but with great humility, because that's where you get your greatest work, when people come from a humble place. But I hear you, when we have to resist, we can also resist humbly. Don't you think so, Craig?
Well, we're saying resist humbly. I mean, obviously, I think like she's saying, to be in politics, to kind of fight for a cause, you have to stand up. You have to stand out, and I think in the Asian community, that's like I think it's culturally a thing that's probably not as common, or historically. So I guess I could see where the strains and the growing pains being in this in the Western, could be a source of conflict. But I do think, I mean, humility and everything. I know that there are one of the reasons I think a lot of artists, or some artists, if they have a big success, a commercial success or something, and they kind of get kind of an ego, a big head about themselves, and then their work suffers. So I mean, I think you have to always kind of maintain that kind of just this. I don't know. For me, it just comes from. I mean, I'm someone that clearly I have my skills and I'm confident in what I do, but I'm many areas where I'm very average or below average in life. So, and some of that's because it's like you put so much time into one area. So I'm always amazed at people that just do regular things that I'm just like, wow, So you got to hang on to that. You got to just remember, maybe you do something special, but everyone does something special, and there's always something to be learned. And once you lose your humility, you really stop learning, you stop growing.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that, Craig. So Ling, I have to ask a very important question. Can you see in the future a president from the Asian community?
Long way to go. Let's get a minority, let's say a women president.
Yeah.
It's a long way to go.
Yeah.
I basically gave up, but we still have to fight. If you don't keep it going, you will never reach to the end.
Never give up, because today's theme, I use the same question for both of you. The theme, and I'm going to ask that question now. I'll pose it to both of you. Ling first. Nelson Mandela said, to deny people of their human rights is to challenge their very humanity in your work. And Ling, in your case, in your work with the Asian community and in politics, How have you seen this play out, and what steps can be taken to ensure that all communities have a stronger voice in shaping policies that protect their rights?
So according to what you just asked the question about, I think if we need to get our people into the dream to have a minority president in the future, I think we should work strategically, not just like a very short purpose and then just push everything to that purpose. If it's not there, if we are not ready yet for that purpose, we need to take a little long shot. But during this long shot, we have several things we can do. Is we need to get our people to get involved in the civic engagement, have them to be deeply connected, because civic engagement is the cornerstone of a healthy democracy and a powerful tool for advancing human rights. If people don't understand human rights, don't push for human rights, there's no possibility for us to have a minority president in the future. So to strengthen it within the communities, we must focus on education, accessibility, and empowerment. So first, we need to educate communities about their rights and the importance of their voices in shaping the policies. This includes providing information in multiple languages and through culturally relevant platforms such as social media. And then we must make civic engagement more accessible, because a lot of people don't know where is a civic engagement, what is this about, how to get involved. So the accessibility is important. This means advocating for policies like expanding voting rights, mailing ballots, and the polling locations in underserved area. Lots of people don't know what is a polling location means even, and mailing ballots, they don't understand what these ballots look like. So it also means addressing systemic barriers that disproportionately affect the marginalized communities. Finally, we need to empower individuals by creating spaces where they feel their voices matters. This includes supporting the grassroots organizations, like our organization. We are always like a self-emerged organization. I'm a self-emerged leader. I call myself a leader because I have followers. I have national followers, so I have to behave like a leader. I call myself as a trailblazer, not like an important like VIP type of thing. However, by supporting the grassroots organizations, hosting community forums, and encouraging leadership development program, this is where I start to do my PhD in organizational leadership.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I want to develop the platform program leadership.
So thank you for that, Ling. And Craig, just to let you know, Ling is completing her PhD. Is it in political science, Ling?
No, organizational leadership.
Organizational leadership, yes. So she's completing. Oh, that's like, how many years of your life have you given already? 7?
No. I started in 2000, so I'm finishing 2005. 2025. 2020.
20.
I'm sorry. 2025.
25 years. Okay, Ling, I understand. So you started in 2020 and you finished in 2025. Well, that's good. 5
All
years.
time.
Right. And
Is that what's the umbrella? Is that? I mean,
Social,
that's not like sociology.
Sociology.
Okay. But we don't put that under that umbrella. We just like a standalone program. Right. Our school is Indiana Wesleyan University.
Oh, yeah.
Organizational leadership was ranked #1 in the country, in the academic world in the country by Forbes, which is a very prominent program. That's why we don't belong to any sociology or whatever G. So we are the only, we stand alone. Right.
Wonderful, Ling. And Craig, just for your benefit, Ling, in your previous administrations, was frequenting the White House for Chinese New Year and all the celebrations of the Asian community. And she held a very prominent role to lead her people on the various visits there. And I would actually encourage you to join Ling's Facebook, because you'd see all the pictures posted. And she held a very prominent position, I think, during the Obama White House, during the Biden White House. And so Ling's well known in those circles, and she holds that place for her people as well. And great work. Kudos to you, Ling. So, Craig, I
Hmm.
want to I want to bring it back to you about the theme of today's show. It's based on this Nelson Mandela quote: "To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity." So, Craig, as a musician and songwriter, how do you see music playing a role in advocating for human rights and giving a voice to those who might otherwise go unheard?
Oof. Well, I mean, obviously, music has a lot of different purposes, and there are some artists that really um, delve into human rights. And I mean, I don't want to put myself in that category because to this point, at least, my music has not really been that. But a lot of artists I respect. Um, I know there's a great, Peter Gabriel. I don't know
Yes,
if you ever
yes,
the song about Biko. Do you know about?
yes.
He has a song called Biko that was about. I believe
So,
he was an activist in Africa, if I'm not mistaken.
have you do you know anything about Steve Biko?
I only what I know from the song, but he's an example of of someone then that really puts human rights into their music. But I mean, I just think in general, obviously, I just view music as something that brings people together
Yeah.
by its very existence, whether
Mm,
it's themed, messaged,
mm,
on human rights. I mean, if you look at someone like Bob Marley, I mean, I mean, the thing about I just think that if there's what music's purpose is more than anything is to serve as a thing to connect people, um, and it kind of transcends politics. It can bring
yeah.
people together in a way that's not cerebral, not doesn't have to or uh, yeah, not doesn't have to be politically angled at all. It's just something that.
Yes, of
So
course. Of
I
course.
view it as kind of like part of the overall solution and something that is necessary. Um, but there are a few artists that that really have stepped in there and are able to kind of express those in lyrics. And maybe someday I'll you know delve into that. But um, it's just one of those things. It's just tricky to say that music obviously, yeah, the other thing I guess I would say about music is that it does adjust to the times, as it has this elastic quality. And when things are, and
Mhm.
I always use COVID as an example because people were just so needing for live music. And so when I was in the beginning of COVID, this is 5 years, I just looked back on my timeline, when it happened in New York, and I was going live and performing every night, and people were so thankful. So but it just yeah, it responds to what's going on. So I think it'll always be part of the conversation and part of what's needed, or the recipe, I guess, for humanity getting along and moving forward, and so
Um,
um, but yeah, maybe that was a indirect answer to your question, but
but it got there. We get the gist of it, and
yeah.
it does have you both have brought a lot of meaning in your answers to that question, and it will live forever on YouTube, so you can go check it out after the show. So, and um, perhaps you can play us another tune, Craig.
Sure.
Ling, what do you say? Shall Craig play us another tune?
Yeah.
Stop. Okay.
All right. Wait, are we doing? I forget. Am I doing? I'm just trying to think of what song I'm going to play. Am I doing one more, or two more?
It's up to you, Craig.
Okay.
We are going to be on till 8 p.m. on my end. That will
Oh,
be
right. Okay.
two on yours and one
Okay.
at me here.
All right. Well, I'll do the new single. I mean, I might as well give that a plug since I released it about a month and a half ago.
Mhm.
Um, this is not in any way about anything too uplifting. It's about a failed relationship, but it's got a bit of a New Orleans influence, and because that's one of my other big places outside of New York. So I'll play this song. It's
Beautiful.
called
This
"She's
is
Gone."
your new
Yeah,
single, right?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So
It's called "She's Gone" and I'm good for nothing. She keeps me waiting, and I'm so afraid that she'll be letting me down. I say I'll give it just another day, but oh, not a word or a sound. And I must be misreading her subtle signs, 'cause I never saw her leaving me here. After a moment we were so blind, she would turn around and just disappear. Always thought we'd turn into something, but now she's gone and I'm good for nothing. So many days she don't come around, bury my head in the sand. All of the feelings left to peter out, the reasons I don't understand. And I have to believe there's a silver lining to all the sadness flooding my brain. After these years on the losing side, it took all my strength just to maintain. I always thought we would end up somewhere, but still I wander this road to nowhere. And now I hold to the pieces that still remain. I can see her face if I close my eyes. At least there's always a saving grace. I can conjure up a story to write. I always thought we'd turn into something, but now she's gone and I'm good for nothing.
wonderful. Always beautiful to hear that tune.
Very it's inspirational.
Very inspirational. Absolutely. So,
Okay.
Ling, please
you.
mention to the radio stations in Houston that they must play some Fred Greenberg. His music's really good. So, Ling, what are you doing creatively? I know you're very focused with your studying, with your political life. What do you do to chill?
I do Tai Chi Kung Fu. I'm a Kung Fu lady.
Oh, tell us about that. Tell us about that.
I took
You
that
know
in
the-
college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my passion. It's not only you learn the skills, but also you exercise your breathing, you breathe out, you know, it's a very good health upkeeping activity.
Moving
And
meditation, right? I've heard it.
yes, that's the movie meditation. Never
Yeah.
use that word though.
Yeah.
You
And
know about it, Craig.
Yeah, I actually took a class in it in college.
really, that's
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah, I practiced it. It's been years since I've done it, but
Yeah, I do Tai Chi sword and
Oh, you
Tai
did
Chi,
Tai Chi sword as well. Wow. So
Tai
you
Chi
go,
sword. Yes, yeah. So
ah,
like
oh
you
wow.
use two finger things, you know, and then the sword in your hand. And one other thing is I like to play ping pong. I have my ping pong table right next to me, and
yeah.
I took my son to the ping pong academy. We had some professional training, so I can play with him. He can play with me. And if he's not home, I play by myself with the machine, auto feeder. And then my other hobby is sing like a Peking opera. You know,
Oh
the
wow.
Peking opera. It's like
Oh,
you wear the ancient outfit and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like elegantly like the lady. I move like a young gentleman. I play the opposite gender. So
oh, wow.
it's a tradition, and I am professionally trained, but I never really got on the stage to do it myself because I was concentrating on my PhD right now. After that, I'll have to go back to to follow my master. I have a master, and I feel like I don't want to see him because I haven't done anything yet. So next year you will see something new.
Yeah, 2026. So, Ling, this is exciting. You have a very creative side
Mhm.
to your life, and
Yeah.
I'm sure it intersects with the other parts of your life, the political and the
Those
academic.
The academic is actually based on my personal experience. I feel like I organized the national Chinese into civic engagement. People sometimes don't want to be partisan. So I separate some people from the partisan into just the general civic engagement. And
Yeah,
within that civic engagement, if people shows their partisanship, so I will bring them, identify them if they are Democratic Party leaning, and then put them into the Democratic club. If they are conservative and Republican leaning, then I'll leave them alone, let them choose their own path. So I played like a nonpartisan and partisan at the same time. It's all based on the event nature. And so the experience has been over for 20 years. I've been involved in the civic engagement for 20 years. And and then the last 5 years, before got involved in the political, I mean, a PhD program, I was looking for some uh, learning education myself because as a grassroots leader, I've been doing so much, and I feel like I came to the bottleneck. So I need some new knowledge and the theory frameworks to lead me to go a step higher, so I can do better job to stand higher and look wider. So that's how I got myself into the academic from the civic engagement and then intersect into my academic career. And then from there, I starting to looking back what I have done, where I can improve and where I can keep going, growing, and then developing our leaders. So that also put me into understanding better of the political policies. So and improving my advocacy of the political involvement. And so that me, I actually try to build a pipeline into nurturing young leaders and then put them into the pipeline from the high school to college. And I also bring those college students into our congressional office. So give them an opportunity to become an intern. So they became the congressional intern. I already put 2 students through the internship. And that is just from since last year. And then the Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee was I've been working with her for 20 years. And I had that little privilege to help our community by raising their attention and bring them up to the opportunities they never will think about. And so that is something I can do and intersect with, helping those kids understand what is the rights we have, what we need to fight for. And then political advocacy and human rights, they are very deeply intertwined, and the advocacy mechanism through which we push for policies that protect and advance human rights. That in my work, I've seen how advocacy can bring attention to issues like racial justice, immigration reform, and gender equality. One policy that urgently needs attention is the comprehensive immigration reform. That is the problem facing America right now. So many in the Asian communities are directly impacted by the outdated immigration policies, including long visa backlogs and the lack of the pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants. These issues not only affect the individual's livelihood, but also their basic human rights. So another critical area is the combating hate crimes and racial discrimination that Asian American communities are facing during the pandemic era. It's surging. It was a surging hating the Asians in all over the country. And so the rise in the anti-Asian hate during the pandemic has highlighted the need for stronger protections and resources for targeted communities. So policies that address the systemic racism and promote inclusivity are essential to safeguarding our human rights. The last one is the voting rights. The voting rights is our efforts has been to take people out to vote, but then the efforts to restrict access to the ballot boxes disproportionately affect communities of color, undermining their abilities to advocate for their rights. So protecting and expanding the voting rights is a very fundamental step towards ensuring equality and justice.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that, Ling. It was very informative. And I can also see how astute you are in fitting into these various compartments of the work that you do, because it's very diverse, but you hone it all into the same purpose.
Yes.
It's meaningful because you bring it all together. And that's wonderful. And your art life, oh, it sounds so exciting. I can't wait to learn more on our journey.
Yes.
So, Craig, I think we'll round up with you if you have another song for us. I just wanted to ask you, how are things going with your album, your new album?
Good. Actually, when I finish here, as I mentioned, or maybe it wasn't recording when I did, I'll be going to soon to a recording session. Actually, it's more of a mixing, kind of doing the final touches on 3 of the new songs. So after that, after today, we'll have about 2/3 of the album done, and then the plan is going to be to go in and do another batch of probably 3 songs, probably for sure that new one that I played at the beginning. So it's coming along, and the response, I'd released that song was the second single, She's Gone and I'm Good for Nothing, and the response on the first 2 singles, the other one was called Dissipating Energies, has been great. So it's all systems go ahead. I think I'm excited. I think this album's, most artists, when they always say, oh, well, what I'm doing is my best work, but I think this will probably be my best release to date.
Oh, fantastic, Craig. I'm so happy to hear that. So, Craig, I've intersected you with Ling today. I hope the two of you become friends. I think you both could do great work, just engaging with each other. Craig, what do you have to say to the Houston audience? Because Ling's not only working with the Asian community, she's a very diverse human being. She's something like us. She can make life happen with any community, and that's a complete human being. In my opinion, that is a complete human being when you can do that. So, do you have a message for Houston today?
Oh, do I have a message? Actually, I kind of have a question. I mean, I kind of wonder, everything that's going on with these cuts, and I'm kind of wondering how that's affected your experience there with the Democratic party down there, and just curious. You hear of all these, there's people having town halls, and there's people voicing their dissatisfaction. I'm just curious to know how it's affected your political life there directly.
Can you talk? Can you talk? You can.
Yeah. You know what? Anything happening in DC, it's impacting the local big time.
Yeah.
And so even though just cutting all those federal employees, the local employees not feeling that pain yet.
Right.
But I that our community is facing a very serious land ban bills right now, challenging.
Land what?
And
Sorry?
land ban, just like Texas, just the Texas legislature senator, the Senate just passed a bill, SB 17, to forbid, and say the Chinese citizens to buy land, buy properties in
Yeah, yeah.
Texas.
Oh, really?
And oh yeah, if you went ahead and bought the properties, and you will be thrown into the jail, and your properties will be forfeited.
Oh,
And
if you're not a citizen, if you're
you're not
Chinese.
American citizen.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you are not American citizen and not American green card holders. Then, even though if you have a H-1 visa, students visa, you cannot buy properties here. So that is under the name of Homeland Security, whatever. So that's yes, from the face value, it says non-American citizen. However, how do you identify who is a citizen, who is not a citizen? Just judging from our looking appearance. And so when I am a 20-year-old citizen, walk on the street, they can detain me. They can just put me in jail and say, no, we don't want you here. And I said, I'm a citizen. No, I don't care. So that is the risk is coming. And also not just coming, it's already here. I want to tell a story. Not my neighbor, my best friend, one of my best friends used to be very actively join my campaign and raise a lot of money for us. And her husband was detained for I don't know how many days. And the reason is that because he went to a shopping center to take a look because he may have interest to buy. And he was driving and stop and look and driving, stop and look. And then he was caught by two white couples claiming that he used the gun to pointing at them. And he has no gun at all. He was just looking at some properties. And then the next day, this is the reason, the next day when the police stopped him when he was driving the kids to the school. The kids was crying in the car, husband was detained, wife was knocked on the door by the police and then dragged out to drive the kids to the school to replace the husband. So there is no reason. He said, I'm a citizen. He doesn't care. They asked him specifically, what is your legal status? He said, I'm a citizen. I'm a U.S. citizen. It doesn't matter. He's still detained.
This was recent? This just happened?
Yeah, just like last several days, like 1 week, last week.
And do you think this is a directly due to the change with ICE and
from the ICE, because they are a good citizen, they are a good neighbor. They live in a rich area, rich people area. They're rich people. They are business owner. They are like the the restaurant owners, several restaurant chain stores, and franchise. So they are working on the lawyers bail him out, of course, later on, and then they are suing them right now.
Good.
They need to be sued. Because even though he said, I'm a U.S. citizen, I got no gun, you search my car, I got no gun, I never have gun. And then what did they see? Did they have a picture of me pointing a gun to them? No, they didn't have any evidence. They just came over, detained him. Wow. So that's a huge impact. That's if you want to say that from the top leader to the local officer.
That was in Houston and in the city of Houston, like in
my what do I call it? My colleague when I was doing the campaign. My best friend.
Ling, I'm very sorry to hear that, but I'm reading and following.
I don't know I want to mention her, but this is one of the extreme cases that shows that they don't care who you are. You can passport, they might tear him off and then put you still.
There was a time when I'm not sure if you still do it, when you would drive around and just go around doing your business, carrying your passport with you. Because I watched Houston television, and you were being interviewed and you spoke about He actually broke down.
Ever since I got my passport and I have to use them, I have to business, I go to China all the time and then do the vetting process for my business, importing business. And after I come home and then let's see, since 2016, I started to carry my passport around.
Oh my.
I carry my passport, I never take him out of my purse. Because I know I am very active in politics. I don't know what time they will be looking at me, you know what I mean? So that's the way how I do my self-protection.
To both of you, before we round off with Craig, I just want to give a quick word of encouragement. You both know about apartheid, how evil it was. You both know what South Africa went through, what people of color went through. People were persecuted here just for being the wrong color.
Exactly.
Look, no country's perfect. We all have our ups and downs, but
right.
For me and for many of my fellow citizens of color, it's a new country. It's peaceful for us because when we're not having your experience, Ling, we had a similar experience here where Black people, the African citizens of South Africa,
South Africa,
they had to carry a book called a pass in their own country that belongs to them, their country. They had to carry a passbook, and if they were found without it, like you just explained, they threw them into prison. So evil reigned throughout history. But I did like, I'm not sure if you both followed this, this year of blue sky.
But our communities, whoever supported the current president, they still feel like they are safe. They're okay. Even though the bail was just passed, and then they still not wake up, and then they are still trying to pretend that they are living a very beautiful life now. They're celebrating Chinese New Year's all over the place, and nobody mentioned anything about the bill. I used to do that in 2023. If you look at my website, aalcusa.org, I was the one initiated the program to fight against the discriminatory lead ban bills, and we did successfully last 2 years ago. But this time again, they repeated. And this time I said,
I'm very sorry to hear about this, but look, Craig has an appointment. He has to leave. We can go on because I need you to continue saying this. Craig, it was lovely having you. I know we planned on a third, but it's fine. You can come back another time. You have to rush to your studio now, right?
I could do one more to close.
You can do one more?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you can do the one, and then you can leave, and Ling can continue on this. I'm enjoying what you're saying, Ling. It's important. Actually, it's important. It's very important that you say it, we record it, and share it with the world. So we'll give Craig his space to finish, to lighten the mood, because
I know, I love that. This is a very beautiful one.
Our hearts are very full, but remember,
I like this show format. Serious and light, and music and to
yeah, it's very light. We're very chilled here.
Very relaxing, it's very good.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Go ahead, Craig.
Okay, this is a brand new one. I don't know if I don't think I played it on here.
You haven't?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I played it or not. And it's not even titled yet, or I've changed the title. So
yeah, we'll name it for you. I think we'll name it for you.
Okay. So, but yeah, let's see how this goes. Wait till the moon arrives. Wait till the wind is at your back and you're feeling so inspired. There's no way you're falling from the track that you laid for years, sacrificing all, nose to the ground. Somehow you found a way. Now the goal, through loneliness and tears, you stuck it out. Now you can fly away. Yeah, yeah. Now your feet are off the ground.
your days. People come from all around to hear the music that you make when the mood is right. You're drawn into the sound. Open your heart and it comes pouring out. You feed the soul with love abundant waves. You turn them out into a state of grace. Yeah, yeah. And you feel the days, they move so quickly now. It's like the scene you've always dreamed about. You're staring straight up to the stars, so unafraid in who you are. When the mood is right, when you're drawn into the sound, open your heart and it comes pouring out. You shine the light, they come and hear the call. You set them free and then you fly away. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Bravo, Craig. That was beautiful. So
Yeah.
this is the song without the title. Maybe that's what you should call it. The song without the title. So it's beautiful. It's stunning.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm still kind of getting the kinks out of it, but
How many hours a day do you practicing?
how many hours?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm usually at the piano about a couple hours. Some days, I mean, when I'm really working on something, I mean, if it's just kind of playing and practicing stuff, it's a couple hours, but some days will be considerably more. Just depends. And the winters, I tend to do more too, you know.
To do more. So this is your life. This is what you do all the time, every day.
Well, a good portion of the time, yeah.
All day. Yeah.
You know.
Wonderful, Craig. Craig, you may leave if you have to, because I know you need to go to the recording studio.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so you can
All
go
right.
ahead.
Thank you. Let's meet on this Facebook.
Okay, nice meeting you, Ling. All right.
Yeah, look
Enjoy
for
the rest
you.
of the day.
Okay, bye, Craig.
Have a good weekend.
I'm enjoying
Okay.
your
Thank
Yeah.
you. You too. Have a beautiful weekend and enjoy the recording and may it be a huge
you.
success.
Thank you very
Right.
much.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming on. Thank you for coming on. Thanks,
Of
Craig.
course. All right.
Bye. Bye-bye.
You. Bye. Bye-bye.
Ling,
Yes,
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I do. This is crazily beautiful. Because
Oh, wow.
I never attended any panels with musicians joining us, and then politician at the same time. Not politician, I mean the civic engagement. And
Yeah,
they
civic engagement,
Yeah.
politics. We bring
use
all
the music to reflect their stance. So it's very important because the music is a different way for their speaking. You know what I mean? It's speak out your mind, and then that's everlasting. Music can be everlasting, can be very powerful to encourage, empower people. I love music because I used to be a singer. I'm a singer.
Oh, you're a singer. Wow, you need to come on the show and do some.
Yeah, when I was younger, I got a lot of the award from like a municipal award and a township award, lots of kind of award. I sing like alto, like the
Alto?
my voice.
Yeah.
My voice sounds very like in the middle. What do you call that? Alto.
Alto? Yeah.
You have a tenor, you have alto, right? Yeah.
I think you'd be alto, yeah.
Yeah,
Ling,
alto.
so what kind of music do you like?
I like
It's
classical.
classical.
Mhm. But he
Yeah.
was playing was more like a rock, like a.
Rock, yeah. Craig plays, but he can play anything. Craig's
I like more calm music and beautiful flows. I like that. But then the crack music is more of inspiring and very exciting. For my age, maybe I'm more trying to sink down to be more of a, what do you call it, calm. I want to be calm.
So you like some Mozart, some Beethoven?
Yeah. Also,
So do the children play piano and?
play some. My son plays some. My daughter used to be a little student when she received some training, but then later on she just dropped it. My son is a self-learner. He just look at the YouTube and then come down. He play very beautiful. He is a very good self-learner. So it's part of me. I'm part of I also play piano too, but not like this guy, gentleman. He played much better.
So do you love your life in Houston?
Oh yeah, I enjoy my life. Yeah. But I need to do some change my path and the route and focus more on academic world because I spent 5 years to get professionally educated and trained. So I want to do more of the academic way than the grassroots way because I'm growing out of that area, out of that range. I need to let young people to go to do grassroots work. We are too old to knock on doors every day.
That's hard work.
Yeah, I can train leaders.
How long have you been doing grassroots work? How long has this been in your life?
20 years, since 2004. When my boy was a baby, I could hold him, and then my daughter was like walking at 3 years and 1 year. And then we knock on the doors, and the kids want to peek into the doors to see dogs barking to them. And I said, if you want people
to have done that amount of work,
it's a lot of work every week and many days. I drive across to Houston, go to Lake, what do you call the where the spaceship is, Clear Lake.
Yeah.
Houston to Clear Lake, and it's across the whole city, and knock on the doors and people drive me away, say, get out of here. What do they just like they want to push our candidate. And I will be driving away, walk away. It's okay. It's my work. I'm here to support my candidate. You scold my candidate. My candidate can talk to you later on. Not for me. Don't talk to me. That is the strategy to ignore the people.
You have that personality that
saltiness. Yeah, I train my team that whenever we need to go to the knock on the doors, we need to really understand that we are here as a volunteer. So we try to show our courtesy, try to show our politeness, and be knowledgeable to give people the impression that we are here to help you to make decision to who you want to vote for. And so we are giving you more information so people will say, okay, thank you. And then you don't want to push them to vote for our own candidate. We will say, we'll tell you when is the voting date, where is the voting place. If you don't know, I can find it for you. And so training these team members, especially the young leaders, young students, and then give them the hope to become a leader, emerging leader, they are aspiring to that route. And so I also including their parents. So we pair the parents with their own children, and the parents get trained too. Usually parents drop the kids and then they leave. But with my team, parents and their children, they work together as a team. Very, very effective.
Wonderful. And Ling, before we close, I would like to ask you a little about your work with Congresswoman Sheila Jackson.
Okay, I started work with her since 2009, and since 2007 when we were campaigning for Hillary. 2007
Hillary Clinton, yeah.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton. And then at that time, I have built a team, Asian Americans for Hillary. And Sheila saw my team having a banner. She was excited to join one of her rally. And she said, Ling, come to the stage. I want you to speak why you are supporting Hillary. Then I started to speak without any preparation. I said, because Hillary, she's going to do the house cleaning. I remember that one sentence. I said, it takes a whole village to clean up that house, that White House. I said that, so funny.
Take the whole village. I love that.
Yeah, I take the whole village to clean that house. And then Hillary is the best housewife. He's house manager. He's going to be taking care of that house, clean up that house. And then Sheila Jackson loved me so much. From then on, she wanted me to represent her for the community. And then ever then, after Hillary lost the election, I started working as her senior advisor as a AAPI community liaison. And that's a volunteer job. I'm not getting paid, but it's like a very big honor that she kept me around. I think I was the only one that worked for her for 20 years because her office, the turnover was very high. And so I was there for 20 years and she was very comfortable with me and trusted me to represent her all over the place. She sent me to every community who needs her and she couldn't make it because she is working like a bee. She's like flying everywhere. Everybody loves her everywhere she goes to work, to attend all the events. On her calendar, she has arranged 6 events in 1 hour. Think about 6 events in 1 hour, how you can make it. Just thinking about the driving. Okay, that's why she's always attending so many activities and sometimes you have to, because the schedule, she went there, she has to wait and then she can go to speak. That's why every time she comes to our office, our community to attend the events, she will confirm with me, do I come and I can go to speak at the same time once I get over there? I said, yes, I make sure you can do that. Because many other places, they don't understand that. They will put her to wait until the time comes, then she go. So that will delay her time to go to another event. And so anyway, she made her big effort to go everywhere. And so when she needs me, then I'll go on her behalf.
So Ling, you knew her for 20 years.
Yes.
You must miss her.
Oh my God, desperately. I don't believe she's gone. I just feel like, okay, she's in DC. I don't see her more too often anyway. You see what I mean? I just feel like she's in DC, still working there. She lives in my heart. She lives in my heart.
She lives in your heart. I love her.
Yes.
Ling,
I love
I
her
think
very much.
that's really a beautiful way to end our show today.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Congresswoman,
Yes.
late Congresswoman Sheila Jackson, who did so much.
She's
So
my
much.
role model. She's my
yeah.
yes. And then, even though she has no time to mentor me, but she informed me with her own action, her own behavior, her advocacy. Her support to my the 2023 rally that I was organizing. She came with a shoelace was losing and she was walking with the loose shoe and then the lace was like flipping. I was so scared that she's gonna step on the lace and fall down. And then she joined my rally and leading in the front line, which is very dangerous at that moment because many other people don't want to join our rally. They said, oh, I'm still going there to the rally because maybe people can shoot us. That was a big rally. We have like 1,000 people. Chinese people come to the rally with more than 1,000 people. It's never happened before. And with 3 congressional members join my rally is historic. And one mayor, Turner mayor. Turner was there. And then me, Congressman Sheila Jackson Lee, and Congressman Al Green, and Mayor Turner right in the middle, and then State Rep.
Congressman Al Green is the one that was recently
recently got criticized, but he was the only hero that did the right thing for the people. I call him our hero, my hero. Al Green, Congressman Al Green, and Congressman Sheila Jackson Lee, and Congressman Turner, the late Congressman Turner. The 3 giants in Houston, Democratic Party, okay, giant. And so we only have 1 left, so we need to really protect him and support him. Al Green is our only pillar now, you know what I mean? And so 3 pillars, that's very important, very empowering. And they are very supportive to all the communities. Congressman Al Green is very supportive to the Chinese community also. Every time we go to attending any event, he will be there, or his representative like me will be there too. So never say no to our
Ling,
community.
it was really wonderful talking to you, and I felt your heart tonight.
Yeah,
And yeah, and we stand with each other, although we're continents apart. And you know,
yes,
you and I discussed this. It's a long flight. It's really a long flight. Either way, it's long. And
right,
you know, as long as we have this portal and we can communicate, intersect, connect, encourage each other, even because you
right.
guys, you all need encouragement there.
Oh,
You know,
yes, I will. I needed it. I needed a lot.
when we were back in, as I said, if we go
Mhm,
back beyond the 30 years in South Africa, we were
mhm.
where you are right now. We were where
Right.
you are. Fascists were running this country.
I will
It,
never. I can never imagine that America get into this point, because it's always America is the leading country.
Mm,
Now
mm,
become so backwards,
mm.
100 years now.
But
So
we were America for, well, ever since I was born until the day the transition happened here. And I know a
right,
lot of people hate the transition because they
right,
benefited from the other side, you know,
yes,
the evil side. If you benefit from evil and you don't want change, well,
right,
let's put it this way. You're not a
mm,
nice person because you
right,
have to conclude that
right,
evil is evil. And when
yes,
people's human rights are being stripped just
yes,
because they look different from you, just
yes,
because they speak differently from you, well,
yes,
guess what? You need to check your humanity out.
right,
And as I was saying this earlier, as the CEO of Blue Sky said, I too
hmm,
want to live in a world without Caesars.
yes.
Julius Caesar is no longer in the world. He
Ah,
cannot rule with that iron fist and treat human beings like we're less than because
the owner of
don't,
Blue Sky,
yeah,
the owner of Blue Sky social media.
the owner of Blue Sky, she says
Uh,
she wore this T-shirt, you know, at it was some interview that she was at, and the T-shirt said, "I too want to live in a world without Caesars." It was in Latin. The message was in Latin. I'll send it to you. I'll send you the
you know,
link.
she's a Chinese, right?
She is, yeah. She looks biracial, and she's got,
Chinese, yes,
yeah, she's
yes.
very American, and she has that you know, she has Chinese
Last
uh,
name.
yeah. And
Also,
yeah, I just want to encourage you and all Americans who are,
mhm,
you know, so many of my colleagues and friends there have lost their jobs. And, you know, people are struggling right now. But look, we are all in a struggle. If you
but,
struggle,
but
then
to
I'm
some extent,
struggling too. Sorry,
yeah,
Ling.
to some extent, I just want to add this one more time,
Mhm.
that people are suffering now. This is a waiting point that many people, they need to go to this point to wake up.
Mhm.
Otherwise, no matter how much we did to warn them, this is coming, they
Never
ignore us,
listen.
still went ahead to vote for this guy. And they need to suffer from the results, consequences that their action is. So right now, I will say I'm sorry for our people became the collateral damage, but I don't feel sorry for those people who voted for their consequence.
Yeah.
Right. Mhm.
I hear you. I hear you. And just to let you know,
Mhm.
in solidarity with yourself and all of the Americans right now who are experiencing this dark moment in the country's history,
Yeah,
this too shall pass.
yeah, it
We
will.
don't know how, but
Maybe,
Ling,
maybe
I
2 years.
say
We'll
yeah,
see.
I say it to you and to
Yeah.
all Americans because I love your country. I
Thank
love
you.
your, and I've made such
I
your
didn't
country
see
made such an
all of
impact.
you.
I have made such an impact in America. And I want to say this because I love America and I love the Americans I know. I love them. They're my family. And
Mm,
therefore I say, and this too shall pass. We experienced it here in South Africa.
yes,
Fascists
yes.
were ruling the country. I was born into a fascist rule South Africa, where people like that looked like me, we were unworthy. We didn't matter. The country
Wow.
was not for us. Our people
Mm,
had to, we had to
yeah.
do from our schooling to our housing, we had to
Mm,
work for ourselves, to build ourselves up. Nobody gave us anything. And
mhm,
I just, you know, even my grandfather was a victim of the cruel
mm,
laws of back in the day. His
Wow.
parents, yeah, I'll send you a link of a show where my cousin speaks. I interviewed my cousin, and he actually inherited, or he collected all my grandfather's diaries, and my grandfather wrote in detail about this incident. The family, my grandfather was a child. He was a little boy, and his siblings were also very tiny. Their parents went to India for a holiday. This was before apartheid, when the other the union, it was before. This is before we, the government I was born into ruled. The laws were equally evil. And so they passed a law because Indians were becoming very successful in the country and they didn't like that. So they passed a law that whoever went back to India couldn't come back here to the country. My great grandfather had settled in South Africa. So what happened was, it was him, my great grandmother, and my grandfather, one of my grandfather's brothers, I think the eldest brother. They went to India, but just on a family trip. And while they were there, the South African government passed a law that Indians who were there had to stay in the mother country. They couldn't come back. And they had left all their children back here. So my grandfather and his siblings had to be raised by relatives.
Wow.
That is the tragedy I come from. My grandfather, that is my grandfather's story. It's a real story. They changed the immigration. They couldn't come back.
Wow.
My grandfather and they were like toddlers. They were left behind and relatives raised them. And my grandfather never saw his mom and dad again.
Wow. Boy, it's so sad.
Very, very sad. So therefore, coming from that, having experienced that, and we've been through a lot as a country. We've been through a lot. I will tell you and all of America, do not give up. Do not, keep fighting, keep resisting. And this too shall pass. So Ling, with all my
Thank you.
all
Thank
my-
you. Thank
I
you.
will
Thank you.
always feel for all of you, and I
Thank you
carry
so
you
much.
all in my heart.
Thank
So
you.
God bless you. And thank you for sharing so beautifully tonight. It was really an honor. I saw that even Craig was so drawn into what you were saying. It was from your heart. It was your truth. These are
Yes.
actual experiences. And
Yes.
thank you for sharing all of that. It was wonderful. And you will definitely be invited onto our show again.
Thank you. I enjoy that.
God bless
Okay.
you. God
Okay.
bless you. Take
Let's
care,
do it
Ling.
again. Yes, I will
Bye-bye.
also do my show in the future because I need to finish my paper. I need to really concentrate to writing, so I cannot distract myself to put together many other events or do other things. Right now, I try to, even though the community events, I said, don't invite me. I received so many invitations as I have to decline. I said, I am so sorry, I don't want to drive around and cause myself into a traffic accident. I always got into accident. I don't know why. So I said, I do not want that anymore. And then I just want to stay home, focus on my study, get my PhD done, and then I'll come back. I will come back like Schwarzenegger. I'll be back.
You'll be back. You'll be back.
Be
Love
back,
you
yes.
lots, Ling. Love you
And
lots.
after
God
I
bless.
finish, I'll be back with more power, more free,
power.
more time to do more things. That's what I
Absolutely.
think. Yeah.
God
Okay.
bless you. Love you lots. Bye-bye.
Love
Bye.
you. Bye. Okay. Bye.